Hello everyone, this is Samantha Corlett with Signature Real Estate Services. I want to first thank you for joining me, and I want to thank everyone for all of the positive feedback that I've been getting on the different public resources I've been doing and the informationals online and in social media. Thank you for the great response. But as promised, what I'm going to discuss this time are FHA loans, PMI mortgage insurance, and different types of short-term investment loans. Let's get started. FHA is a wonderful way of obtaining a home. It allows you to only put 3.5% down on the home. With putting this 3.5% down, there are things that will be required in which the home has to be livable and sound. Therefore, if the home is in need of major repairs, this loan would not be approved. So don't even start it if that is not what you want to do. So save yourself the expense of the lender turning you down if you know there may be a home that has severe damages, because you as the borrower are not allowed to repair this home, and the seller typically does not want to make the repairs themselves. All of these repairs would have to be made before closing at the seller's expense. But this loan does allow someone to get into a home at some of the lowest interest rates and also financing terms that you can get. That is what makes FHA loans so appealing. FHA loan does have a cap though. The cap is typically $300,000 depending on the regional area that you're in the country. That is what determines the final point on that. FHA loan, you just have to have reasonable credit line. So it may be 620. It may even be a little bit lower than that, depending on your assets and your debt to loss ratio. It's a wonderful way to get a home. However, FHA also offers a product available to people that want to buy a fixer-upper. That's called a 203K. This 203K is another great way to get a home. However, you have to have a higher credit line, and this loan is determined by the fixed value, not the as-is value. This loan allows you to add the repairs to the loan, but the home has to be appraised or valued at or above what the home would be worth if it was in good and workable condition. Once again, this is credit-based, so it is for you to determine where you lie before trying to apply for this type of loan. But small-time investors and people that want to do the work on a fixer-upper may try this form of loan. Let's get into the next topic. It's called PMI mortgage insurance. PMI mortgage insurance is added to any loan that you put less than 20% down on. It's a great way to get into a home. No, people may not like to pay PMI mortgage insurance, but it's a lot easier than having to come up with $20,000 on a $100,000 loan. Or if you get into higher numbers, $400,000 loan and you have to come up with $80,000. Not many people have that liquid cash just lying around. So people do accept loans with PMI mortgage insurance. Kind of guarantees that you get the property, and then once your home has developed up to 20% of equity, you can have the PMI removed. Some companies automatically do this for you, and then some companies require that you refinance the home in order for it to be removed. Whichever way, it is still a great opportunity to obtain a home, and it's great once your line of credit equals 20% or more. so that you can have it removed and your bills would obviously be lower, which is the goal. Now, what some people do in a case of this, even if you have the 20%, they obtain the loan with the PMI, and then if they know their home is in an area that has a good amount of equity, they may do some minor repairs on the home and then have it refinanced. That way they're in the home and the home is refinanced based on the equity in the area. It's another alternative for you to obtain the home and have the PMI insurance removed. The last thing that I'd like to discuss with you is small-term investments. There are just a few I'd like to talk about. One is called a rental portfolio. This is based on the amount of rental properties you own, your line of equity within these properties, and if you are receiving a fair market of return to your value. Are you receiving money based on the properties or the portfolio of homes that you own? If you are, then a company can give you an investment loan based on the money that you receive and how long you've owned these properties. Another type of investment that some people may be interested in is called a credit line investment. That's typically for homes or people or buyers that want to do small flips. So you get a higher interest rate, but it's for a period of time depending on the level of return you hope to get doing this flip. So this loan is covered for the period of time it takes you to fix the property and also to sell it. This is a different type of investment loan. Once again, the name is called a credit line investment loan. You have to be careful as to where you pursue this type of loan from to understand where your debt to loss ratio is and how high the interest on the return they will charge you for this type of loan. So please do your research. Another form of investment loan that's out there is called a build investment loan. This is called build to complete investment loan. A build to complete investment loan is typically used for small-time developers, people that are building subdivisions. So this will obviously have a higher interest rate, and it's a loan that's given to you until the development is totally built out. Or if you're doing a single home, until the home is completed and ready to do a refinance for a total loan on it instead of an investment loan on the property. So these are all different types of investment loans. There's so many out there, but these are the main ones that people use. So thank you again for joining me. I appreciate all of the viewers and I appreciate all of your comments. Please keep them coming. And next time, what I would like to discuss based on comments that I've received is people want to know what documents are needed in order to obtain loans. So let's discuss that. Let's discuss all documentation needed or the majority of them in order to maintain a loan. Then we will also discuss the different types of loan tiers, like where should you start, which one gives you the best interest rates. And there is a tier depending on your credit line and your debt to loss ratio. So we'll discuss that. And lastly, we will discuss how to look into determining who is a good realtor and who you should work with in finding the home of your dreams. I just want to thank you all for joining me once again. It's been a great experience and I can't wait to bring you some more educational information. Knowledge is power. Have a great day.